Hey guys, hope you all are doing very well today. Welcome to another episode on the Young and Independent Community channel where we discuss all things A plus mindset, personal development, financial freedom for young Africans. Today I've got my friend all the way in Ghana, Mr. Isaac. Mr. Isaac is going to be joining us today to talk to us about some of the things that young people across Africa can be doing instead of complaining about the government, about the education system. Mr. Isaac is going to be sharing his experiences with us and giving a lot of advice to young people out there who are struggling. If that's something you're interested in, I want you to stick around. Hi, Mr. Isaac. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. How are you doing?
I'm doing very well by His grace. How about you?
No, I'm fine. Thank you for asking. Thank you for asking. Thank you so much for joining us today. I mean, when I spoke to you, I said to myself, oh my God, I've got to bring Mr. Isaac onto the young and independent community to talk to young people and really educate and empower young people, because I felt that you were phenomenal and that you're doing great things out there in Ghana. And I would like for you to spread that, that message, that vibe, across the African continent. So over
Yes.
to you. If you don't mind, can you introduce yourself? And the floor is yours.
Okay. Thank you so much. My name is Banawel Isaac. I'm from Ghana. As you could see my color, I'm just a black guy. Yes. Actually, I have a lot of story to tell. When it comes in terms of you hear everywhere unemployment, youth unemployment, graduate unemployment issues, which is trending the whole part of the world and Africa continent. And some of us, we used to be unemployed, but right now we are our own bosses. Actually, sometimes I feel very worried seeing a lot of people coming out from very universities and other institutions. They come and sit down. They say we don't have work. The government don't have work for us. The government doesn't create job for us. Sometimes when I heard of some of these things, it made me a little bit not understanding some things. Because I remembered when I also completed my tertiary education, I was also working under people, writing a lot of applications up and down. But then 2008, then the vision that I had from the childhood started to strike. And when it started to strike, then I started seeing myself in a different dimension. Why should I have to go to school and learn and come and then I'll be expecting the government of the day to provide me job? Why should I sit down and I say they should call me an unemployed youth or unemployed graduate, whilst the wisdom we want to learn at the school is working? You want to learn a very good program of which you thought, or I thought you can use that program you want to learn to do something very better. But the youth will be sitting down and say we don't have work, the government should give us work.
Right.
But we are the youth, we've forgotten that the government has been employed. Every president is an employee. So how can an employee employ an employee? It is not done anywhere. So I think at this time we are living, the youth will rise up. Let our mindset should start to be very, very positive in whatever we are planning to do. Even if you don't have any vision, let's learn from other people who are excelling. Let's get them, ask them questions. How did they start? Because if somebody wants to tell you how he started his business or he started his entrepreneurial journey, you'll be very marveled. So since some of us or some of the youths don't have this mindset to go and inquire about somebody who is setting up or who is going up a little, that's it. I want to establish, I want to move forward. How can I start? But we sit down and then just be blaming government, just blaming ourselves, blaming our parents, blaming everybody. And what is very painful is you will see some of them, they'll be telling you, me, I'm a degree holder. I hold this, I hold that, I hold blah, blah, blah. But let's ask ourselves that has certificate or degree or PhD gone to work and bring money for you before? No. No professor on this earth or under this sky can tell me that yes, when I finish my professional degree or being called a professor, my certificate goes to work and bring me money, so I don't go on the field to work. Nobody at anywhere can tell me that it has ever happened before. So if it hasn't happened before, why we, the upcoming youths, still depending on our qualification, depending on me, I'm a degree holder, depending on I'm a diploma holder, depending on I'm a SHS holder? Let's look at some scenarios. In this world we are living, many of the richest people are entrepreneurs. Many of them doesn't even have formal education. The wisdom of entrepreneurship or the mindset of entrepreneurship, when it's struck, education doesn't come there. I only see education and entrepreneurship working when you have your degree and you are thinking of becoming an entrepreneur. That is where I see an important aspect of education. And education, it is helping us to know how to write, to know how to read, to know how to understand some things, to know how to meet people, to know how to talk to people. Education is not purposely mean that I should go and come and be expecting somebody to employ me. Although I worked for people for almost about 11 years. Before the mindset started developing, then I start to tell myself that no, I need not to work for nobody again. Then when I have that vision, then it started to strike. It started to work. It started to develop. Why? If I say to myself that I have an educational degree or diploma or certificate, and let me sit down so that if the government didn't give me work, then I'll be sitting down. When it happens like that, ask yourself that, how are you going to manage? What are you going to do to make a living? I remember in Ghana, some youth, they completed their tertiary institutions. The government haven't posted them, but they have indulged themselves in different entrepreneurial sector. Even a lady was able to win the best district poultry farmer. This means the entrepreneurship mindset of this lady was very perfect. She has known that her degree or certificate cannot give her job. Yes, your degree cannot give you job. Your certificate cannot give you job. You are the employer of your own. You are the job of your own. But a situation whereby your mindset is not all that upright, that is where you thought, oh, your education. But when your mindset is upright, then you are now rising up. You sleep and your pillow will tell you something, that do not sit down idle, do something. That is why I said at the beginning that if people want to tell you how they begin their business, you'll be very surprised. I have a story to tell.
Mr. Isaac, I've got a question for you. You've said a lot, you've unpacked a lot in the first 8 minutes of this conversation. I have so many questions to ask you. The first question I want to ask you is, so I made a YouTube video recently about a young Caucasian boy, like I think he should be 3 or 4 years old. He was transporting containers from the back of a truck into a warehouse. And at some point he carried 2 containers. And you could see him running back. So when he put the containers into the warehouse, you could see him running back to the car to take more containers. And I said, this is the attitude that young Africans should adopt. I know that life is really difficult in Africa, but in today's day and age, the youth of today, they want things softer. And the parents are not helping, because if parents don't force kids to develop an entrepreneurial mindset, in the sense that if you're at the university at 18, Your parents are still paying your fees, giving you pocket allowance. That's not such a good thing to do. Because here in Europe, most of the kids, when you turn 18, you're on your own. They take loans to go to universities, and because they don't want to take loans, they decide not to go to university. They go and do entrepreneurship. They go and start an apprenticeship. They start something. And I think that that's the reason why the West is developing. Oh my God, someone came and said this video is rubbish. I'm just complaining. I'm just saying nonsense that in Africa, the problem is the education system. Our education system is poor, and the government is to be blamed for the Africans who are unemployed. And is the white man has brought their system to us, and their system has kept young Africans poor. What can you say to that, please?
I, as an entrepreneur, will never blame a government for not providing jobs for the youths. That is why I said at the beginning that education is different from entrepreneurship. You only understand some basic things from your educational ladder, and then it is the best to use them to develop your entrepreneurial ladder. So, if your education is giving you the paper, which is called degree or PhD or whatsoever it calls, and if it cannot give you food, that is why I also said at the beginning that the government, he himself he's an employee. The government is an employee. So why do you allow or how do you want the government to get you a job as he has been also employed, or he's also an employee? I don't blame any government. What I blame is the youth. We've forgotten to think positively that we can do something for ourselves. All these richest people we are seeing, billionaires, Bill Gates and others, when they mean to tell you how they begin, I last heard from Jack Ma, Alibaba CEO.
Yeah.
I've forgotten how he quoted. He has written a lot of applications. It doesn't work. Then, when he came to set an online platform to be distributing goods, that's online marketing, that it took him about a year or so without even having penny. Nobody having indulged himself in his business. Nobody having been engaged with him like, oh, look, do this service for me to pay you. But today, as I'm speaking, Jack Ma is a very renowned business entrepreneur or businessman. He wrote a lot of applications. It hasn't worked. He came and set up an online store or online marketplace. It took some years. No penny is coming from there. And let me tell you one thing. If you have the mindset of an entrepreneur, you are very focused. One, you persevere or have the spirit of perseverance and encouragement and motivation. If you do not have some of these things, there is no way you even think of becoming an entrepreneur. So for me, as an entrepreneur, I will not blame any government. I will blame we the youths. We don't want to use, excuse me to say, our common sense we learn from the school. Our common sense we learn from the school. We don't want to use it. And the other thing is we only want to be on our suit, our tie. We put on our suit, our tie. We say, go and sit at the office. Say, oh, boss, yes. That is all what we need. But we've forgotten that we can also be called boss. We can also be respected as an entrepreneur or CEO of ourselves. So sometimes, if I see people blaming government, I don't see it to be something very positive to blame a government for you not being employed. To be employed is in your mind. If you have the spirit of entrepreneurship, you can develop something for yourself. Even people will start to blaming, creating, insulting you at the beginning, but just let perseverance take over and motivations. You shall succeed. Thank you.
Great. That's a fantastic answer, which leads me to the next question. So you've said that, people should think with common sense to start a business.
Yeah.
There's a trend where I was just talking to a client. She has a small business, and she said to me that her employees stole from her business. I made another video where I said everybody wants to have a job, but nobody wants to start the company that will employ other people to get a job. But when people decide to start a business, other people come in, young people especially, and they steal from the business whilst the business hasn't even grown. The business, it's like cutting from a mango tree when the mango isn't ripe.
Yeah.
What can you
Yeah.
say to young people out there who are always looking, once you're employed into a small business, they always try to steal from that business? What can you say to them? What is the consequences of their action, and how is their action affecting the development of Africa?
Some of these things that is even making a lot of youth become very poorer and not being able to have the spirit of positivity in mind. People, your youth thought that the moment they see somebody flourishing in business, it is just one day picked or one day thing. Become success in your business ladder or in your career. It's not about rushing to get money. So I wonder, why do you have to first of all thought of going to steal from somebody some work you haven't done for? Why do you have to think of that? And when you see that you are found guilty and you are kicked out, you will come and you'll be blaming government. You will come and you'll be blaming God. This is where you see the African perception, oh God, is God. God, what have you done this to me? You are there doing the wrong thing. God didn't blame you. Now, when you are kicked off from the work, you are blaming God. You are blaming your home witches. You hear of some people, they say, hey, that's my grandmother. She has allowed me to. You should be very careful on how, if we are working with people, how we go about doing our things. That is very bad. Let's be honest and work with them. Some things are hard to come by. You don't know how the person starts. Maybe the money you are stealing is what is the seed capital of the person. And sometimes some of them, they just go to see the money and be thinking, hey, the money is big, the man is getting big money. Maybe his profit is just a cedi or a penny, and you are taking half of the penny. So his profit has already gone. How can he pay you at the end of the month so that you'll be very happy or satisfied about that? So in fact, it's a bad attitude, and I will plead the youth to be very careful not to think of get rich fast spirit, but rather let's move gradually. What we needed, definitely the Lord will never leave us idle. Thank you.
Wow, Mr. Isaac, that's a really good response to that question, to to that issue that is plaguing the continent. I think it's a really bad thing. And I think that once this is changed, look at the entrepreneur in Ghana who said that if people in Ghana continue to steal from him, he will just move away from employing Ghanaians and he'll just employ foreigners who will be more honest. And if this person decides to employ foreigners and foreigners are the ones earning the money, what's going to happen is that Ghanaians will be poorer, foreigners will be richer. That's just what it is. Because foreigners will definitely send that money back to their countries. They will not spend it. They will not spend it on Ghanaian businesses. So
yes,
yes.
I have a quote, some quote. I want to put it down. Maybe it will sound very well to some people. Sometimes we just thought that somebody who doesn't have food to eat is a poor person. We thought somebody who haven't attended school is a poor person. Do you know why we are poor? We are poor because the entrepreneurial mindset in our mind, if we refuse to use it, then we become a poor people. Because I have not heard of any government worker who is a rich man. But we have entrepreneurs who are rich men in the world. So, if you have the mindset, or you don't have the mindset to create, you don't have the mindset to also provide jobs for people, you don't have the mindset to start doing something gradually, then you are a poor person. Because we thought that poor people are those that who doesn't have food to eat. If you are having degree or masters or PhD or whatsoever, and you cannot use your mindset, the entrepreneurial mindset God has given to you, or you've started developing something and you refuse to use it to develop it, you are a poor man. No matter how much food you get to eat, you are a poor man. Yes, that's my quote. So not all your education will get you job. Not your education will get you something, but rather the entrepreneurial mindset. So let's know that when you have whatever degree and your conscience, you don't have any mind telling you that go and create something, and then you are just sitting there idle, eating, drinking, sleeping. You are more than a poor somebody who doesn't have food to eat. Because those people who doesn't have food to eat, sometimes some of them are having good mind, they have good innovations, but how to start? The seed capital become a problem for them. Then they start to flop. But when you have the educational qualification that you can use it to develop something you are not, then you are the poor man. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Isaac. So there's another phenomenon on the continent, which is where the youth spend a lot of time in church. In general, Africans spend a lot of time in church. Someone goes to church and spends 4 to 5 hours. They say their church service, they go to church every other day of the week. They dedicate a lot of time to church activities. I wrote a blog article where I said that if you're spending your working hours in church, you should ask the pastor or your priest to pay you a salary. If you're the one spending your time cleaning the church during the time when other people are working, you have to be earning a salary. Don't spend your time in church and expect other people to finance your livelihood, because even Jesus, his father was a carpenter and Jesus was going to work with his father. What can you say about this particular phenomenon on the continent, and how do you think that the youths can redress that particular issue? Because I think the time that we spend in churches, that's the time that would have been going towards creating enterprises, starting businesses, and also, quite frankly, being able to support the church in the right way. Because at the end of the day, the church runs on charity, and if you're spending all of your time in church in the name of your praying, although Jesus said, if you want to pray like this, our Father who art in heaven, that prayer is not even up to 5 minutes, but we spend hours upon hours, in Africa, in the name of we are very religious, we are praying and all that. How do you think that this issue should be addressed?
Thank you so much. I'm a Christian and I love the question you are asking. I think for me, my church, we don't spend so much. People have used church as a business today. They go to church, all kind of collections have to come out. If even the money is in your shoe, you have to remove the shoe and bring the money. Come and sow seed. Come and sow what? But sowing seed, if you do not go to get the seed, how can you sow the seed?
Thank you. Thank you.
I don't have money. Then you say, come and sow seed. So I thank God I don't attend that kind of come and sow seed churches.
People borrow money to sow seeds, but the Bible says that we have to be a cheerful giver. How do you go and borrow and come and sow seed?
But what are we seeing? We still sow seed and still living as how we are, because we don't have common faith. We don't have faith. In my church, I've been told that faith is the paramount of Christianity. If I have faith and I speak to God, God should listen to me. But if you don't have faith, how can God listen to you? So people just go to waste a lot of money and they think God is answering their prayers. It will take him 10 years still. He still asks how it is. We must always see ourselves that we are the wrong people, or we are sinners. We must always humble ourselves to praise or to pray to God. But today, look at what has jumped in the churches. Positions are people raising for. If you do not have if you do not have money, they don't respect you at the church. But a pastor, ask yourself that how does the lady or the guy, how does he get money to come and pay for the tithe and the collection? The seed he says you come and sow. How does he get the money to come and pay for it?
That's it.
So I thank God I am attending the church or the message. We don't put this kind of financial burdens on people. People thought when you are giving Kofi Nyama and whatsoever, and whatsoever, as a whole lot of things, that is where God bless you. No, people does it for so many years. They are still at where they are. The only thing you need to know is the faith. And we don't delay at the church. At least 3 to 4 hours or 4.5 hours, we have to close. Because 9:30 we start our service, 11 to 12 we close. So you don't have time for come and sow seed. I never see in my church somebody, and it's in the Bible, nowhere that come and sow seed, that God will bless you. You are sowing the seed into the pocket of the pastor and his family, right? There are some people who have sowed seed. They are still how they are. They are sleeping hunger in the church or in their homes, but the pastor even doesn't know where they are sleeping himself. And I thank God, my pastors, they will follow you to know where you are sleeping, whether you are living better or you are not living better. My pastors, they will follow you to know. They are concerned of the people. That is why God is blessing my pastors and is blessing the church people too as well. So that is how we have to go and stop going to, somebody will go to church 8. He will come back home 4, 3, 2. It's very bad. Maybe when you come early, you can sit down to brainstorm about something. Look, God, the way we are raising God, that's not how we should go about it. We make so much noise. But the person is in some kind of lifestyle which is very bad. The pastor will not preach about that. He's preaching of money. He's preaching of wealth. If you do this, God will bless you. But the person is in sin. The person is in some serious situation. He's in a mess with God. He's even having problem with God. And you are telling the person to come and sow seed. Who is going to take that seed? And then who is going to do the will of the seed? So I thank God I attend a message that we don't joke with people's life. We don't joke with that. It's a short time we close. Everybody go your way. The pastor come, he preach a short minutes, about 45, maybe some hours, hour, then we are gone. We don't have time for a lot of come and sow seed. If you sow seed, just pray that God should make you righteous. And if you are righteous, the Bible said that God hears the righteous prayer. When God hears the righteous prayer, he cannot sit until he's finished what he's supposed to do for the righteous man. But not everybody is in the church so chaff, and then come and sow seed, while the person is in the sins. It's very bad. Thank you.
Thank you for that, Mr. Isaac. Really, your responses are just spot on. So, right now, if there's a young person listening to you and they feel frustrated about the government, about things that are happening around them, about the fact that they don't have a job, what advice will you give to that young person who is listening to you on how to get into entrepreneurship?
Okay, thank you so much. You know, God has given everybody the spirit of entrepreneurship. God, he has given everybody, since from the beginning of Eden, God has made a man taking control over everything. So far as we are human beings, we go up and down and coming all days round. This means that the wisdom God has given to Adam and Eve, or Adam being the first son of God, and he's been taking care of all the flowers, all the trees at the Eden, the Garden of Eden. This means that God has given us the wisdom to manage all resources that we have within our environment and within our around us. So, if we are not able to develop that wisdom of Adam, taking care of the whole of the Garden of Eden, and if we cannot use That wisdom he was using to take care of the garden, and we sit down and we say there is no job, then there is something wrong with us. So I believe God has given everybody the entrepreneurial wisdom or the entrepreneurial mindset. It's left on to us to devolve it into a successful venture. It will lead us to that is, we have to manifest that entrepreneurial spirit in us so that we'll be able to move forward. As we are unemployed, we have something to give, so that the spirit of the issue of graduate unemployed employees and so whatever, all stuff fine. Not all of us who can establish organizations to employ people. Everybody cannot create an organization, but we all have responsibilities to undertake. So fine, you are working with somebody, all right, but you can still do other things that will earn you extra money than thinking that I have to be employed. That is our issue. So I was also in the other way thinking that if we have completed our universities and what have you, I'm planning or praying to get a platform one day to tell our government to change the educational system. You know, we have technical universities, we have colleges, agricultural colleges, teaching colleges. It is very good that with my wisdom, I think after every 3 years, everyone will go to study at the university. When it comes, the government should, or the educational sector should be able to let such people to go and learn about 3 or 6 months on hand job. If it's vegetable farming, at least how many months? 3 months. You start cultivating vegetables. So graduates, go there, learn how to go into vegetable farming, learn how to go into this sector, how to prepare soap, how to prepare washing gel, liquid soap, and all these things. Short business that can create within income within the shortest time. But we just go to learn book long and we come out and the book long is killing us. We become still poor and we're sitting there blaming government. So I think that the youth will rise up. Let me say one thing. I did business from the SS and to the tertiary level, and when the mindset started to strike, right now I am holding certificate in horticulture, and I have learned a lot about horticulture. So as I'm speaking, I'm now an horticulturist from Holland Green Tech, TU Delft University. They come together and Kwadaso Agriculture College and train us 4 months intensive agricultural program or horticulture. So right now, if I does some things, people even who completed agriculture colleges may thought that I have even attended agriculture college for the 3 years. But it's not that. You know, the mindset shouldn't be on one thing. The mindset comes in different aspect of businesses altogether. If I need to tell you the number of businesses I'm doing, not that I'm successful, no, I'm not successful. I'm just starting, but I have this one small, a bit. I am developing them into something profitable maybe in the years coming. So that is how the youth have to think. You have to think outside the box and make sure that the wisdom or the entrepreneurial spirit that we have, you'll be able to utilize it. I want to make a point. There was a time one guy approached me. He asked me that, sir, and in fact, I don't know, I want a business idea. I said, you want a business idea? I said, what? I said, okay, what do you think in your heart and your mind you desire to be doing? The guy told me that he likes cleaning so much. If he's at the house, he's always concerned of where is dirty to make sure he cleans there. Then I told him that then that is your entrepreneurial mindset. Start something. Start to put up yourself and establish a cleaning service enterprise. My dear, up to now, the guy hasn't called me again. He's holding degree, but you know his mindset. He is thinking I can get him job. He is thinking of somebody should get him job. But ask that, where is the job, and the person is giving it to you? The entrepreneur, the CEO himself, is also working under somebody, and you are coming to work under him, and you said you are all right. You want to be to just be only employed. You don't want to also employ people. The guy just ran away from. He didn't call me again to talk about the business issue again. But man, if like the guy was very eager, I'm telling you, by now he would have called me and be telling me stories that said I have succeeded. But he didn't make it out. You see, so that is the issue of the youth. So I'm pleading the youth, please, up there, let us sit down and then reason. Why are the youth employment issues? Do you think you don't have any idea? You don't have anything at all? Sometimes we just start thinking of putting our tie, our white shirt, going to work, coming. That's making us riches. No, I don't believe in that. I have put a lot of suit. I put boots, whatever, polish my shoe, nice, my tie, go to work. They pay me months. But now I see it that I was just using my time just like that. This is the time I have seen my vision improving small. I want the youth all to rise up and then create something that is entrepreneurship and innovation. Let's have the spirit of entrepreneurship and try to innovate in whatever that comes into our mind. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Isaac. So you said something about right now, you used to work as an employee and you felt like your time wasn't well spent, and now you have your own thing. Can you tell the audience what you do and how you came about doing that thing, please?
I am an entrepreneur and agripreneur. I am into mushroom production. We produce mushroom. Also, I am into vegetable farming. Also, I produce or prepare organic fertilizer. Also, I am into charcoal briquettes. I produce charcoal briquettes. Just if you look at our climate change system, I venture into this to help our energy system. So, I also offer trainings for youth in agriculture. Those who want to go into mushrooms, I does training for them. Organic fertilizer, I does training, and many other more. So this is what I'm doing. I'm also planning to go into a large scale of maize, soya beans, and many others in the near future. Now it's in a small scale, but I know in the future it will grow high. So I am an entrepreneur and agripreneur doing a whole lot of activities on daily basis. By the grace of God, 2019, through an international business plan competition, I was able to win a grant, and then through that I have established a very big mushroom factory whereby I train people and also produce mushrooms, serving individual households, especially targeting the vegetarians and also children, and even grown with an issue of malnutrition. So actually I'm creating a lot of impact in the society which I'm living. Thank you so much.
Mr. Isaac, sorry, I was muted. I didn't realize it.
I saw it.
I was saying thank you very much, for your response. When you were talking, you did say that you got a grant to be able to kickstart your business. If a young person is listening to you now, they've got a brilliant idea and they don't have the seed capital, what's your advice to them on how to find the grant, where to find the grant, and how to apply in a way that will increase their chances to win the grant? If you can run young people through that, that would be excellent.
Okay, thank you. Formally, when I weren't having the entrepreneurial mindset, I thought it can never be that somebody can take a huge euros or dollars or pounds to say, take it and do this project. Until when God has set everything perfectly, it has really happened. The best thing is to just make sure you have an innovative product or innovative idea which can impact lives, which can change the society. Definitely somebody is somewhere thinking about that innovation that you are having. So the person will be also ready to give it to you. As I'm speaking right now, I have created grants and investors platform, which has a lot of people on it. I post grant issues all the time. Every day, I just post them. So the youths, what I'm saying is that do not let us sit down and say there's no job. Let's look for opportunities. There are opportunities all around. There are great opportunities in our lives, great opportunities within our environment. But it's left unto us to realize our entrepreneurial mindset. Look, I have children that uses cashew. I know you know cashew, madam.
Yeah, I know cashew.
That's right. You know that the cashew, the seed, the fruit can be used to make toffee.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Yes, I have children. I have some guys. The water, the fruit that we eat, they pass it through a process and it's become like toffee, very sweet, like honey. If anyone who has started to support an entrepreneur and he heard of this and knew or read your business plan, he got to know you have the innovative idea. Don't let us practice the already process that are existing. They are existing, and nobody will need not to invest in them.
Right.
Financiers need to invest in new development, new technology, new innovations. So I want to urge the youth. Think, maybe you may have something within you or your mind telling you, do this, do this, do this. If you do it, it will help you. If you do it, it will make you in the future. Please do not hesitate. Start small. My work, my mushroom business, I started small. When I had the vision to do it, I started small. I didn't just start to do mushrooms. No. I have a small thatch house, which I built. Then when the business plan issue came, then I put in my business plan. And by the grace of God, I was able to pass through. I was able to defend my business plan when they called me for an interview from Germany. So please, there are a lot of grants up there. There are a lot of opportunities up there. Just let's make sure we sit down and think of innovative businesses so that we will not just be poor youth, but rather we will be rich or we will be successful youth if we use our mindset that we have through our education. Thank you.
Wow, Mr. Isaac. I mean, when I first spoke to you, I thought that you were legendary. You were amazing, especially in this day and age where young people are kind of lost. I thought, oh, let me bring Mr. Isaac to talk to my young and independent community, to inspire them, to empower them, and to really educate them on what they can be doing right now instead of waiting for a government that, like you said, is an employee. How can an employee employ an employee? Instead of waiting for the government, they should actually step up and do.
4 years the government is going and you are depending on him. A new government, so they are all employees. You understand? Our government, they are employees. They come when their term of office tenure reaches, they go. So you want an
Correct.
employee to employ you. It's very funny.
That's correct. Yeah. No, 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 no. You're absolutely spot on, and I think that that's a very clear message that young people have gotten today, because you've actually repeated the point a few times so that it can sink very deeply into their subconscious minds. Thank you so much for coming. Really, I hope that this interview reaches all the far ends of Africa, and that young people can really, listen to this message very pertinently and get up from slumber, get up from their place of comfort, tear their blame lists, and focus on really building something for themselves, so that they can change the lives of people in their families, in their communities, in their countries, and then the African continent as a whole. You see, China used to be a dumpster for the West. America and the UK and Germany, they used to ship their rubbish, their industrial rubbish, to China, or when China was still a poor country. But Chinese people said, enough of this. We're going to build our country. And the way they build their country is not by spending hours upon hours in church sowing seeds left, right, center. No. They rolled up their sleeves, they put on their boots, and they went to work. They became entrepreneurs, they became producers, they started exporting. People started coming to China to produce their products. So enough people can go to Ghana to produce a product. Enough people can live abroad to go to Cameroon to produce a product, and the briquettes, the mushrooms, the vegetables. Young people can start businesses that will make their countries a trade center, a world trade center. If China could do it from being a dumpster for the West, and today China is the second in power after America, then all of us can do it. All young people listening to this message can do it. Mr. Isaac has been phenomenal. He has told us that it is possible. If we can think it, we can do it. If you put your head on your pillow, you're going to something is going to come to your mind, and that God has given us dominion, and he has given us the power and the possibility to go out and do great things. Thank you very much for listening to this episode. I hope that it blesses you. I hope that you come and give us a testimony of what you've been able to take out of this and how it has changed your life. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to drop a comment in the comment section. If you'd like to contact Mr. Isaac to give you some training, because Mr. Isaac also trains on agriculture. If you'd like to contact him to write a business plan for you, I'm going to put his contact in the comment section of this video. Please don't hesitate to reach out to him. He doesn't charge a lot, but he's going to do a winning business plan for you. Thank you so much. Leave a comment. Don't forget to like. Don't forget to subscribe. And we'll look forward to the next time when Mr. Isaac comes to speak to us. Thank you guys all so much, and have a beautiful day.
Thank you, madam.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr.
God
Isaac.
bless you for this great initiative. I'm very
Yes.
proud of it. I'm praying that one day I'll have strong platforms to showcase the wisdom that I have to the graduates. Me, I'm much concerned of those who are coming out, those who are completing. That's where my mindset, because they are coming to be a burden upon themselves, upon their family, and upon the government. Let me say that. So I always need to get such institutions or graduates to talk to them. Even if we have to go on the field to learn something that will fetch them, those who will be very serious to learn something very fast. Why not? Some of them have the idea to do something, but they don't have who will help them, who will talk to them. So thank you so much. I don't want to talk too much. Thank you. God bless you.
Thank you, Mr. Isaac. I mean, we can always carry on this conversation, and nowadays the young people, their attention span is very short. Especially for educative content, they're in a hurry to jump ship, but they can watch Netflix until tomorrow. But if it's an educational content, they'll say it's too long. It's too long. Except those who know what they want out of life, they obviously sit down to listen to it, and it changes their life. So thank you very much. God bless you.
And bless you too.